Olá, boa noite. Eu sou o Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 2 de Broken Sword, a Sombra dos Templários. Ontem jogamos com a jornalista Nicole Collard, que foi chamada para entrevistar o político e rei da mídia Pierre Carchon. Lá ela descobriu que ele foi amigo do seu pai, falecido pai da Nicole, mas nada além, pois o político acabou assassinado por alguém fantasiado de mímico. É o assassino do disfarce, sobre o qual Nicole já escreveu reportagens antes. Investigando por conta, a Nicole descobre no subterrâneo da conciergerie um gabinete secreto fascista com recortes e fotos mostrando que ela era vigiada por Carchon e que esse político conservador tinha estranhas ligações com guerras de dominação na África. A reportagem que prepara sobre essa outra faceta do Carchon acaba vetada pelo editor do jornal após pressão de gente importante na França. Após isso, um tal de Plantar telefona para Nicole e diz ter informações não só sobre esse caso, ou não sobre esse caso, mas sobre o assassino do disfarce. Marca um local para que Nicole vai encontrá-lo. Hoje começaremos a jogar com George Stobart, que na verdade no jogo original era aqui que começava o jogo, não tinha essa parte da investigação da Nicole. Antes de iniciar propriamente o jogo com o George, vamos fazer a introdução com a sua aparição no jogo, o que restou um tanto prejudicado no nosso vídeo de ontem. Cafetería da Chantelle Vert.
Solo llevaba una semana en París y ya me había enamorado de la ciudad. Mi último descubrimiento era un pequeño café, la Chandelle Verte. La camarera seguro que estaba colada por mí. El atractivo Stobart, supongo. Poco sabía yo que mi ensoñación se iba a interrumpir tan bruscamente.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was going to do. I was going to find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty, and equality, and, fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that and the money, of course.
The table had been overturned by the explosion.
A mesa virou com a explosão.
I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
Não quer mexer nas provas. Ele não é como a Nicole. Aqui tem alguma coisa.
Wrapped around the lamppost was a newspaper.
Jornal. Assassinato brutal de Pierre Carchon. Tá aí a notícia da... E aqui uma anotação, Salah e Dinar, 134-5.
I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah Eddin, 1345.
Saladin, 1345. Mas a...
The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman.
E aqui esse professor que aparece no jogo.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Professor Oswald, ganhador do Prêmio Nobel, em passagem por Paris. E essas duas aqui.
The column was devoted exclusively to rumor, gossip, and sensationalism.
Só sensacionalismo.
The column was devoted... The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize...
Ah, não, isso já foi falado. Guardou o jornal? Guardou. Mais nada aqui fora? Acho que não. Vamos pro interior do café. Coitada da garçonete, que ele achava que estava apaixonada por ele.
The waitress was clearly suffering from shock.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobart, ma'am. You look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
Não. Santinho.
No, but I used to play hospitals when I was a kid. Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
Is that straight or with ice?
Just give me the bottle with a cheat on it.
I guess a little drop won't hurt.
Me dê a garrafa com canudinho.
That's better.
She knocked back the brandy as if it was water. I was glad I wasn't picking up the check.
Ainda bem que eu não tive que pagar a conta. Que ela toma brandy como água. Um brandy francês, muito bom. Espelho? Smoking mirror?
Apart from a bit in the middle, the mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck for someone.
Alguém terá 7 anos de azar. Smoking mirror é o Broken Sword 2.
I'd hoped the fact that the mirror was already broken meant I'd escaped the bad luck. The mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck. Poor guy.
Ah, só agora que ele viu o cara morto aqui, tinha que olhar pelo espelho.
He was pretty mashed up. It was the body of the old man. It was hard to believe I'd seen him alive only minutes before. The sight of the dead guy's staring eyes turned my knees to jelly. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page.
Não dá pra ter ideia de quem é esse cara.
Please, hold it right there.
Whoa, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche. What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead.
Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Sim, eu vi entrar no café.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Palhaço.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon. The picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd, don't you think, monsieur? Who am I to believe, I wonder? Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Nico!
Excuse me, mademoiselle? Hi. My name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yep, that's right. On vacation in Paris. Some vacation, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out in front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with a hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh, no, nothing like
Plantar!
that. I'm Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What is that, some kind of nightclub?
Oh, no, it's a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing. An eyewitness account, minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
A clown? It's him again.
Perguntar da pessoa. Como é que ela sabia a descrição da pessoa?
Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Plantard. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Well, not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation.
Plantar de novo, ainda tem pergunta?
How did Plantard get your name?
Through the newspaper, La Liberté. I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders, one in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantard said he could supply me with more information. Well, somehow the clown must have known about our appointment.
Casos parecidos que ela cobriu, assassinato na Itália e no Japão. Assassino disfarçado. Inspetor de polícia? Palhaço.
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Ele tem tempo, mas ela não.
Why won't you tell me about the clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. I'll be on some, monsieur.
Fine. I'll see you soon.
O resto que ele queria perguntar. Ela deu o telefone, mas é só trato profissional.
The sergeant was a scrawny man in his 50s who resembled a constipated chicken. Sergeant Moo?
Ah, Monsieur Stobart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure. I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
Deixa o caso com a polícia.
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantow.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say. Once he gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
O que eu posso mostrar para ele aqui? Jornal.
I found this in the street, Sergeant.
That, monsieur, is a newspaper, no?
There's a note written on it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
Aha!
That stumped you, hasn't it?
I have never been stumped, as you put it, in my life, monsieur. It is the name assumed by the clown, no?
Salah Eddin the clown? I don't think so.
Não creio que seja Saladinho, palhaço.
Look, Sergeant, the inspector gave me his card.
Yes, monsieur. He wants you to advise him if you have any information concerning this case.
Well, I'd be glad to talk with him, but I don't want him working his psycho weirdness on me.
Ah, no, monsieur. You are confusing the science of parapsychology with witchcraft.
Oh, yeah? What's the difference?
We don't do sacrifices.
See you later, Sergeant. It was a Paris daily tabloid newspaper, full of sex, scandal, and sports results. The card read, Augustin Rosso, and gave an address to the south of the Montparnasse Cemetery. I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window. It was broken, all right.
Agora ele não pode entrar.
The clown had fled into this alley, but there was no sign of him now. I was intrigued by Nico and what she could tell me about the explosion.
Como é que o palhaço fugiu por esse beco se não tem saída? O verdadeiro beco sem saída.
It was a battered old trash can.
Vamos mexer na lata de lixo. O enigma do gato. Vamos pegar o bigode do gato.
I'd had it with sticking my nose into French trash cans. It was an iron cover concealing the entrance to a drain or sewer.
Vai abrir o bueiro, sim, com as mãos.
The cover was too heavy and awkward to lift with my bare hands.
Com as mãos livres não dá pra...
It was a battered old trash can. It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Isso, arranca essa grade aí.
The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight.
Ele vai subir pela tubulação porque...
I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe. I guess the clown hadn't escaped over the rooftops.
O palhaço não foi pelos telhados, não, que não aguenta.
I decided I'd had enough of messing with that drain pipe.
Não quer pegar a tubulação, não. Até deveria, para ver se abre.
I considered straightening the table.
Você vai precisar de alguma ferramenta desse cara aqui.
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door.
Vamos abrir essa portinha aí.
The door was securely locked.
Nos países europeus tem muito disso, né? Uma porta enorme com uma portinha embutida.
It was a battered metal toolbox.
Caixa de ferramentas de metal. Ou uma caixa de metal, uma caixa metálica de ferramentas.
Hey, stop that! Get away from there! What do you think you're doing?
I was admiring your toolbox.
Oh, we? Had a good look, have you? I'm warning you, if you touch it, I'll crack your nut.
Okay, I get your point. The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job. Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess.
Vamos perguntar as coisas.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quelle bite. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people.
Sua caixa de ferramentas.
What's in the toolbox?
What's in the toolbox? As if you didn't know. What's the big deal about tools, anyhow?
They're cool. Tools are civilization.
You don't say.
That's right. Tools are what distinguish us from other animals.
Who are you calling an animal? I've met your sort before. Looking down your nose at me because I'm working class, huh? I've a good mind to knock your block off.
What kind of tools do you keep in your box?
Huh? You really are interested in tools?
Sure, like I said, tools are...
Yeah, civilization. So you keep saying.
So, are you gonna show them to me?
Am I? Why, you?
Aw, come on. Just a little peek.
I've got work to do. Find someone else to bother.
Do you have a tool for lifting manhole covers?
As it happens, I do.
Cool. Lend it to me, just for a few minutes.
No.
Aw, come on.
No. Get your own.
Ele tem uma ferramenta. Será que se eu pedir de novo? Se eu pedir, por favor.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with your manhole lifting tool.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with my pick.
Oh, hey, forget it. I'll come back when you're in a better mood.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
Listen, I have to find that clown. He's a killer.
Say, who are you anyhow? A cop?
No, of course not. I mean, do I look like a cop?
No, but you act like one, sticking your nose in where it's not wanted. How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown up.
I wondered what that bang was. Any bodies?
Yeah, an old man was killed.
Merde. I didn't think it was that serious. What about the waitress?
Oh, she's fine.
Thank the saints.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Posso pegar as ferramentas?
Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tcha! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is.
Saladin é cavalo de
Do me a
corrida.
favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
Cuide do buraco que eu vou apostar no Saladin. Até que foi fácil.
I'd found just what I wanted. A tool for lifting manhole covers. It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone.
Ligue quando tiver alguma coisa. Quando descobrir alguma coisa. Vamos lá, então.
It was a metal rod with a handle at one end and a short crosspiece at the other. I lifted the cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
E guardei a ferramenta de volta no bolsinho do colete. É uma peça fundamental.
It was a
do jogo.
shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green slimed floor. As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
Nariz vermelho de palhaço.
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words, La Risée du Monde, Paris. It was a bright red plastic nose, part of a clown's costume.
Ele sabe pelo menos onde é vendido esse nariz, onde foi comprado. Lá, a risada de Paris.
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue.
Pano sujo e úmido.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
Tudo que é nojento e que está no esgoto ele tem que pegar, claro, né? Como faria qualquer pessoa.
It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers.
Outra coisa aqui.
It was a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike.
Pedaço de tecido.
I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike. It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer.
Saiu em outro.
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back, and now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Tô buscando. O que são esses outros dois aqui? Palhaço.
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu, that is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu. Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
Nunca soube que o esgoto fosse uma atração turística, mas o esgoto de Paris tem um capítulo, um livro inteiro dentro dos Miseráveis sobre os esgotos de Paris.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh, thank heavens. A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
Ah, that's what you say.
Isso que você diz ele. Plantar.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Bravo! You need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
Mostrar aqui minha ferramenta.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
Just as I thought. You were up to no good down those sewers, weren't you?
One slip and I would have been up to my neck. Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
Mm-hmm. What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Mm-hmm. Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Agora ele pensa que é o inspetor, né? Mostrou o cartão. Olhe meu nariz de palhaço.
Take a look at this false nose.
Aha! That looks like a clown's nose to me.
Precisely. He must have dropped it in his panic.
Unless he wanted you to find it.
Why would he want to do that?
To put you off the scent.
Veja esse pano sujo aqui.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me? Someone has emptied their nostrils into it.
Alguém esvaziou o nariz nesse lenço.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Ah, é um pedaço de tecido do mesmo tecido da jaqueta que o homem aqui achou. Ou pegou na fuga do cara que ele estava perseguindo.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no! He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture.
Perguntar de novo da garçonete?
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her. Quite well, you could say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Plantar.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Valise.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Palhaço fugiu por aqui abraçado com a valise do Plantar e o velho conseguiu, quando segurou, ficar com a jaqueta dele, que é desse mesmo tecido que o George encontrou um trapo no esgoto.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Uma roupa de qualidade com a assinatura do alfaiate.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romany seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
O palhaço se fantasiou de pessoa normal, gênio do crime.
What was the name on the label?
It was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
Pensei que ele ia voltar pelo esgoto.
So the clown had escaped into the sewer, come up into the courtyard, and then slipped back into the street here. It wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had done.
Já descobriu algumas coisas, né? Vamos telefonar pro alfaiate, ou esse daqui, ou é o alfaiate ou é da loja de disfarces, de fantasias, ou para Nicole. Vamos para novidade.
Hello? Who is this?
Hi. My name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Plantar.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
E conhece palhaço?
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Plantar de novo.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know, Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
Tenho mais nada para perguntar nem para fazer.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Que a Nicole pode.
Hello, Nico Coulard.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
I was used to working alone, but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case too. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? And why did he murder Carchon? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there, but who was on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my desk.
Telefone, mesa, as toalhas penduradas. Ah, aqui a outra estatueta do pai dela.
My first Teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him.
Não, ursinho de pelúcia, leal como ele só. Baú aos pés da cama. E, o elefante aqui.
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's. The box was carved by my father. It never had a key.
Não vi isso nas legendas, mas ela tem uma outra chave de outro lugar.
It was a photograph of my father, the first one I ever took, with the first camera he ever bought me.
Foto do papai.
No messages for me.
Paiando com a papai. Se não tem mensagem, não adianta engrenagem.
You have no messages.
Adianta-se. Colocar um som. Veinha florista.
Mamselle Collard.
Oh, hello there. Don't tell me. I'm going to meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so. Why would you say that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Anyway, your cousin's female and very pretty.
What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And in my apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were also very dangerous.
Alguém fingiu ser prima dela para plantar escutas no apartamento. Por isso que o Plantar sabia de tudo sobre ela. Estão se dando muito ao trabalho e gastando muito para vigiar uma simples repórter fotográfica.
I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine.
Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, I'd better be going. See what my sweet cousin's been getting up to.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Vou ver o que faz a minha prima lá em cima, então. Ela disse que ia subir no apartamento.
So, where had my pretty new cousin hidden her little bug, eh? I was going to have to search everywhere.
Acho que dentro do telefone, né? Ou aqui na mesa. Aham.
No bug. Just a 20-year-old piece of gum.
Pedaço de chiclete de 20 anos.
The phone was the obvious place to look for a bug, but this handset hadn't been opened for years. Besides, they would have just bugged the line.
Não foi no telefone. Ursinho de pelúcia.
My first teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him. Undisturbed. No bugs there.
Sem microfones.
The box was one of the few things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's. But that small metal disc underneath it in the chest was a recent addition.
Ah, tem algo acrescentado. E agora ela não fala mais que tem uma adição na parte de baixo. Ah, tem outra coisa aqui no baú.
A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box.
Era embaixo, não era na caixa, era dentro do baú.
Oh, chère cousine, you left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
Querida prima deixou um presentinho.
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
E agora ela vai telefonar para alguém?
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call.
Então é só esperar o George chegar. Ele falou que vinha já ou que vinha outro dia, outra hora?
It was my neighbor, the so-called psychic.
Florista médium.
Bonjour. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
The woman who claimed to be my cousin. Could you describe her again?
Well, she was your height, a hair lighter than yours, but otherwise she was very like you. But with impeccable manners, of course.
I bet.
Quer ver meu grampo favorito?
What do you think of my hair clip?
Very nice. One day I might be able to afford one of those, mademoiselle.
Fica aí se alugando.
Do you know anything about this boat ticket?
No, mademoiselle. I am not a tourist office.
Take a look at this cloth.
It looks expensive. Did you steal it?
Well, no, of course not.
Claro que sim. Cara de pau.
Ever seen a safe key like this?
In my business, I don't come across many safes.
What do you think of this shell case?
I think whoever stopped that one must have a sore bottom.
No. What do you make of this message?
It will take you on a journey that begins where it ends. In laughter and in tears, in sadness and in joy.
You got all that from this paper?
No, it's from a song. I heard it on the radio this morning.
I don't suppose you're any good at unraveling codes.
My beautiful grandmother was a cryptologist for the resistance. But all I inherited were her good looks.
What do you think of this carving?
It's nice, but I wouldn't flash it around this neighborhood.
It wouldn't be sensible to let her know about Carchon. I took this stone cylinder from a safe.
Interesting. Let me give you a word of advice. If you ever want to know what is written on it, you should smear it with paint and then roll it on paper.
What?
It's a gift, mademoiselle. I never question it.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Ela tem dom do que fazer com isso aí. Será que adianta eu ir em outro lugar? Residência do Carchon, café. E já taparam tudo aqui.
The workman looked about as eager and helpful as your average road digger. Hello, could I ask you some questions?
That depends. Are you a cop?
No, I'm a journalist.
Bit late, aren't you? They already took away the body.
I'm doing a follow-up on this story. Tell me, are you related to the workman I saw digging the hole?
Don't talk to me about flobage. Pah!
Okay.
He just won a fortune on the horses and he won't give me a cent.
Well, it's his money.
When he was broke, he was happy to touch me for a loan. Brothers should look after each other, he used to say. He's changed his tune, now he's brassed up.
O outro operário ganhou lá nas corridas e ficou rico e desprezou tudo e foi embora.
You're doing a fine job.
Damn right I am. You should be writing about me, not that idiot that got blown up.
The heroes who pick up the pieces when disaster strikes.
Exactly.
Well, give me your best smile and maybe I'll put your picture in the article.
Oh, right. Just give me a minute to do my hair.
The workman looked about as eager and helpful as your average road digger. The police had removed the body, but nothing else looked disturbed.
Era para passar enquanto ele se penteava. Era engano. Estratagema. O que ela encontrou aqui?
A panel had been blown away, revealing a gap. From this angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes.
Algo no buraco do esgoto. Algo preso no buraco do esgoto. Mais alguma coisa para ver por aqui? Não. Mesmo.
Behind the table were some damaged pipes.
Ah, não é no esgoto, na tubulação da própria cafeteria. Carteira.
Now I'd seen it in the mirror, I could make out something behind the pipes. Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. Some kind of pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Cochon's organization. I was on the right track. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Cochon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items, a strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code.
Na bolsa, estranho artefato e uma nota em código. Vamos lá de novo?
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel in the room below the conciergerie.
Ah, uma peça com a estátua da justiça lá embaixo da conciergerie. A gente tem que voltar, então.
Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Cochon.
Plantar e Cochon. O e E, que tem mais letras. E aqui tem já palavras com duas letras. Aqui não começa com Pierre. Plantard, plantar, então. Vamos tentar. P. L. Ah, deve ser plantar. N. T. R. D. Plantar. Pierre. Pierre. Isso aqui é E, então. E esse N é I. Plantar. Pierre. Muerto. El. Tener dada la vida. Não. Não pode ser D porque o D já foi. Visa. Ou não é nem V nem... O, esse daqui então... Encontrado, esse daqui é C. Plantar. Pierre, Erto, El, Dinolo. Encontrado, isso aqui é H. Esse outro N esquisito. Loa encontrado por Arno. Arno era o outro nome que aparecia na mensagem anterior, né? E Yamada. Então isso aqui é Y, o VI aqui. Arno e Yamada. Isso aqui é B. Não, B nada. M. Eu penso uma coisa e escrevo outra. Plantar Pierre ha muerto. Então isso aqui é U. Porque Ba é com B. E porque o símbolo parecia um B, eu já fui direto no B. Plantar Pierre ha muerto. É o assassino. S, né? Isso aqui. Loa encontrado por Arno e Yamada. Vá a venir. Isso aqui é um V. Vai vir. Vai virá atrás de nós outros. Virá atrás de nós. Devemos ter cuidado. Isso aqui é B. Agora sim o B. Lá de Thierry abriu Laísa? Irra, a filha. Isso. O 8 é J, então. A filha de Thierry abriu a caixa forte. Isso aqui é F.
Plantard. Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arno and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Por que tudo isso ficou aqui? Porque eu estava examinando o inventário.
There was nothing of interest beyond some bloody debris.
A filha de Thierry é a própria Nicole? Não lembro mais do nome do pai dela. Acho que é.
Hey, what about my photos?
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors, They should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed.
Ir de la Cité 1 hora mais tarde. Ah, mas ela vai ter que fazer tudo de novo, não pode só fazer viagem rápida para o
The
lugar
slab was too
conhecido.
heavy for me to lift.
Não, primeiro ela levantava isso aqui. E agora ficou aberto direto já. Ah, porque ela já consertou. É aqui.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too.
Plantar e Carchon então tinham acesso a essa sala. O que temos aqui? Papéis rasgados.
The folders were empty. Someone had removed anything that they thought could be incriminating.
Tudo que era incriminador foi retirado. Menos esse papel rasgado que ela vai fazer. Um
A
puzzle.
photograph had been torn up.
Uma fotografia amassada. Aliás,
If I
rasgada,
could
né?
just arrange the pieces.
Se eu pudesse ordenar... É o pai dela. Para mover um fragmento, coloca o cursor sobre ele. Quando o cursor se converter em ícone de mão, faz clique e mantém pulsado o botão para arrastar o fragmento à posição adequada. Há que colocar os fragmentos de maneira que a fotografia encaixe no espaço disponível. Se a Bá soubesse fazer quebra-cabeça, ela poderia ajudar. Tô acertando tudo de primeira, mas é melhor eu não me exibir.
Oh my God. It can't be.
Ela já descobriu que é o pai dela.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Então, por hoje vamos ficar por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, torcida, desejando boa noite, boa semana, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.